If you're missing one of these qualities, you're not going to become a great performance coach. So one of the things that we do inside our certification, which is Performance Coach U, is we use an evaluation tool where we go through and identify what I feel like are the 9 attributes or qualities that performance coaches must possess to be able to perfect their craft or get better and become great at actually coaching athletes. So let's go ahead and review these 9 qualities. The first quality that you're gonna need, we're gonna deem quote unquote athletics, right? You have to really understand what the athlete is going through on a visceral level. We have to understand the sport of the athlete that we're working with. Even if you did not play the sport, it's important for you to understand the ins and outs of the actual game or competition that they're competing in, and for you to be able to relate back and tie back. This obviously makes you more relatable, and when the athlete knows that you've gone through it on a visceral level, you become and create more buy-in, and you become more respectable to that athlete. So having a good understanding of athletics in general, the sport that they're playing, and what they're going through on a visceral level, whether you're a former athlete or you're just involved in the game, it's extremely important that you understand what that athlete's going through. The next one is one of the more basic ones, and it's just really understanding the fundamentals of training. Can you take an athlete and apply the right amount of stress stimulus to get an adaptation while being able to manage them and not compromising them with injury, right? So that we're prescribing and periodizing the right amount of reps, sets, and amount of training so that the athlete can overall get that positive adaptation. Do we understand the needs of the actual athlete based off their sport, and are we applying the right movements to them to be able to get better and translate over to that sport? The third quality is going to be psychology, and this is all about the mental side of the athlete. Do you as a coach have the basic understanding or social awareness to understand what makes that athlete tick and how to be able to motivate them and inspire them throughout a training session or throughout an off season, throughout multiple years, to be able to get them to continue to climb and excel in their actual sport? This is important to know, how to push and pull athletes. When you work with youth level athletes versus professional athletes, do they respond better to more negative feedback or maybe to more positive feedback? How do we get the most out of them every single training session? How do we talk to them? And how do we get inside that mind and be able to push them a little bit more? The next quality that's very important is understanding the physiology of the body, right? And you gotta have a foundational education in this. You don't have to be an expert in it, but this is gonna deal with all the internal processes of the body that allow an athlete to be able to move, whether this be the energy systems, whether this be the nervous system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, all of these different things that intertwine that be and essentially create movement. This is a key quality for us to be able to have a base level foundation in, so that we know how to work with other experts to be able to assist our athletes. The fifth quality, which I think is actually one of the most important, is going to be your ability to communicate or actually teach. This is going to be the how to when it comes to coaching. This is your ability to communicate, convey, cue, whatever it might be, for you to get the response that you want out of your athletes to be able to perform the movement correctly. This transcends so much more than just working inside your gym with actual movements. It's how you conduct yourself. It's how you run your training session. Being a great communicator is almost everything when it comes to becoming a great performance coach. The most important thing here is, how are we being able to take all the knowledge that we have from our coaching and training side of the body, of the mechanics and everything, break them down into easily digestible pieces so that then the athlete can consume them and they know the how and why, so that they're bought in and that they have better effort when they actually perform the movements. The next quality is going to have a basic understanding of biomechanics. And this is essentially just the science of how the body moves, right? And this essentially boils down to just having a basic understanding in physics. So we want to be able to understand how the body moves, whether the athlete's sprinting, jumping, performing any kind of multi-directional drills, so that we can then be able to communicate, cue to them what we're looking for, and be able to understand what it should look like from a mechanical perspective. Seventh quality is going to be authority. You have to be able to conduct yourself with confidence for you to be able to create buy-in. And when you create buy-in with your athletes, you create better effort inside your training sessions. So it's essential that we have an alpha dog-like mentality. We are the generals of the floor. We know how to command the room and conduct a training session where we have everybody locked in with intent and focus for each training session. For the 8th quality, it comes down to experience. Now, some of this takes time, but some of you have been former athletes who have had experience inside the actual weight room or being able to develop the body, or if you're a coach who essentially needs to pay your dues. And experience allows us to maneuver, make quick decisions, be able to make adjustments to our programming, or us just having a basic understanding of those training sessions. Time in and experience is gonna allow us to make all those necessary adjustments that we need to have on a day-to-day basis to be able to conduct a great training session. Last but not least, for our 9th quality, this is more for the private sector. You can almost consider this more of a bonus, if you will, but you gotta have good business acumen. You can't be the best coach in the world, but lack business and suck at business and logistical side and organization side so much that you can't put anybody inside your doors that you can't train anyway. So you gotta have a basic fundamentals of marketing, sales, and retaining your clients. And that's from top to bottom, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you gotta be the best at sales or be able to know how to run ads, right? But you gotta have a basic understanding of how to get those athletes in the door and how to keep them there once they come in and stay with you throughout that development. So it's essential for a performance coach in the private sector to have some basic understanding, right, of the logistical side of things, the back house side of things, which is your business acumen. So there you have it, guys. These are the 9 essential qualities that make up a great performance coach. This is something we've seen time and time again when we work with our actual performance coaches in our actual certification. We go deeper. We use this as our actual evaluation tool, and we go deep into each one of these. So if you're a coach looking to elevate your game with your athletes, you go ahead and check out more information on our certification down below. I'll catch you guys next time.